Welcome students, welcome to the next class. In my last class, when I was teaching you the theories of socialization, I said that we have much more to learn about socialization process, and therefore, in this class I am going to teach you about the stages of socialization. Socialization is a continuous process of human life. It starts when the child is born and continues till he passes away from this world. Although the process is continuous, it occurs under many new and complex social environments. As the child grows and crosses several stages, the process also increases in its complexity. At every stage, the individual learns to participate in different social roles. Sociologists differentiate 4 important stages of socialization. These stages are the oral stage, the anal stage, the Oedipal stage and the adolescent stage. First, I will explain to you the oral stage. Oral stage is the first stage in the process of socialization. It begins with the birth of the child and continues up to the first year of the child. The oral stage is characterized by the oral behavior of the child. The child knows only crying and sucking. By way of crying, the child establishes its oral dependency and communicates its discomforts to the mother. To sustain its life, it makes the other activity, that is sucking the milk. The child develops certain expectations about the feeding time. The mother also, on the other hand, teaches the child eating habits. The child tries to give vocal signals in order to communicate certain things to its family members. For instance, very frequently we observe the infant crying for no reasons, but we think there is no reason. Actually, the child cries because there is some kind of discomfort in its bed. It can't express it through words. Therefore, it cries and calls the mother to attend to it. This is called vocalization. Mostly, it is the mother who is involved in the socialization process. The child and the mother are the major part of this stage. The child knows only the mother. Freud calls this as the primary identification. In this stage, hunger is the major drive. The second stage is called the anal stage. Anal stage is the second stage that starts at the end of the first year of the child and is completed by the end of the third year. In anal stage, toilet training is the main focus. The child is taught to regulate its toilet behavior and cleanliness. In this stage, the child internalizes his role and his mother's role. The mother's training of toilet habits makes the child learn what is right and what is wrong. According to Freud, anal stage is very important because the learning of toilet habits influence the shaping of personality of the child. Learning to be clean, regulating or controlling its behavior, and self-respect are certain qualities developed at this stage. For the child, it is the mother who represents the larger social system. Thus, in the second stage, anal activities are regulated. And now the child goes to the third stage. The third stage is a very important stage in the shaping of personality. The third stage is called the Oedipal stage. The Oedipal stage starts from the 4th year and ends up at puberty, that is the age of 12 or 13 years. At this stage, the child becomes the socialized member of the family. The child has to learn many other roles in the social life. In his efforts to learn new roles, the child has to differentiate between sex roles too. He or she has to learn to identify himself or herself with his or her own sex. This is the appropriate time to learn sex differences and sex roles. According to Freud, the boys, that is the sons of the family, are more attached to their mothers and develop jealous of their fathers who have gained their mother's love. Freud calls this attraction as Oedipus complex. In the same way, the girls are more attracted towards their fathers and hence feel jealous of their mothers. Freud names it as Electra complex. For Freud, their feelings are mainly sexual, but at the age of 5 to 7, the sexual knowledge and identification are not set or fixed properly. In this stage, after 7 years, social pressure are brought on to the child to identify with the right sex. That is, the boys and girls are gradually rewarded for acting in accordance with their sex. They start understanding the sex differences and feel guilty of their previous behavior. The boys start identifying with fathers and girls with mothers. This is called identification in Freudian theory. In the earlier period of this stage, the children identify themselves with the opposite sex, but later on through the reward and punishment system, they shift their identification to the right sex, and this is called identification in Freudian theory. During this period, the children are busy with learning various skills. At this stage, the child internalizes clearly his roles. The family members help them take up work that are appropriate to their sex. For example, the girls are made to learn the household work and the boys are taught manly activities like karate, horse riding or driving. In this way, the role identification is complete. The fourth stage is called the stage of adolescence. The physiological and psychological changes take place within the individual in terms of their sex, that is male and female. The physical and sexual development could be obviously seen. Both the boys and girls want to be free from their parental control and be independent. They may experience strain in their social exposure. They like to take up new roles and get new experiences. This is a transitional stage from adolescence to adulthood. It is the responsibility of the parents to assist their children to transform from this marginality successfully. Students, we have talked about 4 important stages, and these are the major and important stages of socialization from the psychosocial angle as explained by Sigmund Freud. The next stage is adult socialization. Socialization is a lifelong process. Even after crossing the adolescent stage, this process continues, assuming new social roles and entering into new social situations are many at this stage. The adults take up major social responsibilities in life, like getting a job or their marital relationship, whereby new roles have to be played. In adulthood, the individual is expected by the family and society to be independent, totally facing challenges of the situations. The adult socialization is characterized by three factors. The first one is the adult is motivated to work towards goals. Secondly, the new roles he is internalizing bear similarity with many other roles he was playing earlier, as social situations could be identical. And thirdly, the socializing agent could communicate to him easily through speech and interaction. Under adult socialization, change of attitude might take place. An important factor under adult socialization is that the nature of socialization the individual had undergone at childhood has great influence in the adulthood socialization. The adult socialization goes on up to old age and till the death of the individual. Students, so far I have been explaining to you different stages of socialization and how the individual is being socialized and how the personality develops at every stage of socialization. The next part of this lesson is the agents of socialization. Now, I will explain to you different agencies that help in the socialization process of the individual. It has been explained in the previous portion of the lesson that socialization is responsible for self development. The personality of the individual is shaped according to his own experiences. Socialization process starts in the family, with the mother initiating it gradually, expanding to other members in the family, then to the whole society. The social institutions socialize the individual persons in various respects: the family, the peer group, the school, religious institutions, and mass media are some important agencies of socialization. Agents of socialization are the transmitters of culture. Agents of socialization are the mechanisms by which the self learns the values, beliefs and customs of the culture. The older members in these institutions help the new members realize the expectations of the society. The elderly members are already socialized and they know the values and the norms of the society, and hence they pass on this information to the next generation. Formal agents of socialization have set goals towards which only people are socialized. Informal agents are always with the people in socializing the individuals. And now I will explain to you how family acts as an agency of socialization. The process of socialization starts in family. The baby's interaction starts with its mother. The intimate relationship of parents with children has a great impact in the learning process of the children. The child rearing patterns will vary from family to family, but still all the children are oriented towards its own culture. The learning takes place by way of reward and punishment. In other words, negative sanctions and positive sanctions. For good behavior and obedience, the child gets rewards by way of a kiss or a gift. When non-conformity or misbehaviors are observed, the child is punished. Both rewards and punishments help the child in shaping its personality. That is why delinquents are blamed for their upbringing by the family. The family exercises its influence on the child's development in various other ways. The class status of the family, number of children in the family, and the education of the parents leave a strong impact on the child's growth. In large families, the grandparents and the siblings also serve as models for younger children. The next agent of socialization is the peer group of the child. The age mates socialize the individual in a great manner. Friends of the same age group, schoolmates and playmates influence the child by inculcating new values like cooperation, compromise and competitive spirit. The peer group serves as the sources of information of many new things in the society for the individual. They acquire knowledge on various things that cannot be discussed with parents. Many times the influence exercised by the peer group is greater than the influence of the family. Next is the school. School as an agency of socialization. Next to family, the child is systematically inculcated with values by the school. School is an informal institution with specific goals like education and imparting skills. In this manner, the child learns many values and behavior in the schools. Other than direct influence, the child imbibes various other things like new values, discipline, time sense and cooperation. These qualities are learnt in the course of school education only. Education by itself encourages the individual develop refined values and attitudes. The role of a teacher is very important in developing personal skills of the child. Dear students, I have been explaining to you the three important agencies of socialization, that is the family, the peer group and the school, and I explained to you how these three agencies are helpful in socializing the child. The next one is the mass media. Mass media is a new agency of the present society that aids in the socialization of the child. Now, we will see mass media and socialization. In modern days, the media exercises great influence on children by providing enormous information to them. Although print media and radio supply information, television is the most desired one in the present society. Being an audio visual source, children many times like keep watching it than to play outside. They keep watching television, which has both positive and negative impact on them. Learning process is accelerated and diversified knowledge in science, history and literature increases through television programs, but the human interaction is very much reduced. This will result in lack of understanding of human behavior. Sharing of views and discussions are very much minimized. The violent and unhealthy programs naturally affect the socialization process initiated by the family. Actually, the family has taught the child to be very pious, very calm and obedient, and the religious values taught by the family also makes the child to be very obedient and peace loving, but on watching the TV programs that are very violent create a bad image in the minds of the children, and therefore, TV watching should be controlled as far as possible. The role of computer and internet at this point cannot be overlooked. Its effect is the same as the television. On the one side, it increases the knowledge and helps the child to learn more and more things, but on the other side, it has a very bad effect also. The television viewing habits of the older members of the family has a bearing on the children's habit of viewing television. With the increasing availability of global channels, the media definitely have a great role in socializing the children. We have come to the last part of socialization, which tells you about the importance of socialization. Socialization is a process that occurs in human life as a part and parcel of life. It is not something that comes from a different place, but takes place as and when we lead our life. Hence, socialization is important in our social life for the following reasons. 1. The personality of the individual develops only through socialization. 2. Socialization helps man to change from a biological organism to a social being. 3. Human behavior is disciplined through socialization. 4. Very importantly, it helps us enact our various roles efficiently. 5. Socialization helps in social order. 6. Socialization facilitates the transmission of culture. Okay, students, in this class, I have been explaining to you the different stages of socialization, which included the oral stage, anal stage, oedipal stage and the adolescent stage, and finally, we also talked about the adulthood socialization. In the second part, we have been talking about three important socializing agencies, that is the family, the school and the peer group. Later on, I also included the mass media, which has become an important socializing agent in the present day. With this, we come to the end part of socialization process. Now, I want to pose some questions to you. The questions are: describe adult socialization. Why do we consider family as an important socializing agent? Bring out the role of mass media in socializing a person. Okay, students, I completed the lesson socialization, and in my next class, I am going to teach you a different topic, which is also very important in the subject sociology. Bye.